The rise of cancel culture. Hey folks, is it possible that the rise of cancel culture has been a turbulent one? Look at it this way. It has pulled in everyone from celebrities, politicians, to everyday people like Maria Tuscan, a yarn business owner, who was dragged into a scandal that embroiled the Instagram knitting community because she defended a fellow knitting influencer, Karen Templer. The negative attention took a toll on Tuscan's business. She was unable to attract business collaborators or new customers, and was losing followers on social media. Or the likes of an African-American school security guard who was fired for using the N-word in the course of telling a student not to direct that word at him. The list goes on. Has cancel culture become destructive? In today's video, we'll be discussing how exactly this social movement came to be and how it affects freedom of speech. Let's start by looking at the phrase cancel culture, or canceling someone. It means blocking an individual from having a public platform, and in some cases, getting them fired from their job. Yeah, it's a pretty polarizing topic. Cancel culture follows a specific, decades-old pattern. A public figure or company says or does something that's perceived as offensive. Social media is then split into two sides, those who support that person and those who call for a boycott. If it works for those who call for a boycott, that public figure receives the ultimate ticket, which leads to a mass boycott of their work, or faces disciplinary actions from their employers. Prominent figures like J.K. Rowling, Piers Morgan, Kanye West have all been targeted for cancellation, simply because they expressed their opinion, which differs from that of the cancel culture mobs. We understand that the pushing force behind this movement is based on positive intentions, just as Merriam-Webster Dictionary states the purpose is to demand greater accountability from public figures. As seen with the rise of the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement, how did we start using the phrase cancel culture? This phrase has become universal in pop culture and attained the highest power halls to describe cancellations for prominent and regular individuals. There's a lot of debate about who was the first person to coin the term, but we can trace back one of the earliest times the term was used. In February 2014, TV critic Miles McNutt sent out a tweet talking about TV shows cancellation. He tweeted, "It's unfortunate how renew cancel culture has made not renewed early read as canceled. Wait and see till pilots come in is normal." At the time, his tweet only got 4 likes and 4 retweets. According to McNutt, he was referring to renew cancel culture and that he didn't consider cancel culture a legible phrase at the time. Is cancel culture a good thing for our society? Let's look at the pros and cons of this movement, shall we? Pros. It gives a voice to disenfranchised or less powerful people. While not everyone has access to legislators or other influential people, everyone can sign up for a Twitter account once you have access to it. Ann Charity Hudley, PhD, Chair of Linguistics of African America at the University of California, Santa Barbara, explains, "Canceling is a way to acknowledge that you don't have to have the power to change structural inequality. You don't even have to have the power to change all of the public sentiment, but as an individual, you can still have power beyond measure online. And for Black culture and cultures of people who are lower income and disenfranchised, this is the first time you do have a voice in these types of conversations." Cons. It is not productive and does not bring about social change. According to Maisha Z. Johnson, addressing harmful behavior is important, but so is understanding that everyone is on a different step of their journey, so we all make mistakes. And we all have different strengths. So if someone's lacking in one area, like knowing vocabulary words, we don't have to treat them like they're totally disposable to the movement. We can help them grow in that area and hope that others would help us in the areas we need to grow, too. Pros. It allows marginalized people to seek accountability where the justice system fails. According to Jill Filipovic, for the powerful, criminal convictions are rare, in part because these people have better tools to work the justice system and rarely fit the stereotype of a convict. So the court of public opinion ends up being where accusations, and just as often accusers, are tried. Cons. It amounts to online bullying and can encourage violence and threats even worse than the original offense being called out. A typical example was the 2018 drama between Taylor Swift and Kanye West and the Kim Kardashians. People called for Taylor to be canceled, even flooding her social media with snake emojis. A tactic of cancellation can damage both parties if it has devolved into bullying. A 2020 study found 39% of cyberbully victims and 29% of cyberbullies show signs of PTSD. According to Samir Hinduja, PhD, co-director of the Cyberbullying Research Center at Florida Atlantic University, states that cyberbullies are more likely to feel free from social norms and moral ethics, rules, and possible punishments and sanctions when they're behind a screen and physically distant or geographically separate from the target. Pros: it's a form of boycott, a value tactic in the civil rights movement, which can lead to social change. Con: it's a tricky tactic and can lead to intolerance in democratic societies as people systematically exclude anyone who disagrees with their views. Think about it this way. Do you want a society where everyone thinks the same and has the same opinion? Another celebrity who has been targeted for cancellation based on her opinions was Olympic gymnast Gabby Douglas, who tweeted, "It is our responsibility as women to dress modestly and be classy," responding to her fellow teammate Ali Raceman's tweet about the assault. Assisting the movement was an entire fleet of cancellations calling for boycotting celebrities, politicians, business owners, authors, and everyday people who might have opinions that differ. That leads us to ask, is cancel culture an attack on free speech and due process? Social media plays a significant role in cancel culture. Platforms such as Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok are especially homes to cancel culture warriors. Some jump on social media and boycotting wagons in an attempt to execute social justice on their own. Some enjoy canceling people just because it's seen as funny or entertaining. As the Times put it, writer Jonah Engel Bromwich said, "Almost everyone worth knowing has been canceled by someone." Supporters of this movement regard it as a tool in achieving social justice. But is it? A professor at the University of Southern California was placed on leave for using a Chinese word that some people think sounds like the N-word, even though it is simply the Chinese word for that. We didn't forget the summer of 2020. Goya Foods, the largest Hispanic-owned food brand, found itself targeted by cancel culture warriors after the company's chief executive, Robert Unau, attended an event at the White House where he praised President Donald Trump. What about Professor David Peterson of Skidmore College in New York? He was canceled and fired for attending a pro-police Back the Blue rally. He didn't participate in any way. He didn't speak or shout slogans or carry a sign. According to Professor David Peterson, he wanted to hear what the demonstrators had to say. There is a sensitive balance in protecting the right of freedom of speech and holding individuals and corporations responsible for their actions. However, from a cancel culture's perspective, protecting speech has become a tool to tyrannize others into censorship. Who's next in getting canceled? Author of How to Build a Healthy Brain points out, shame emerges in response to the feeling that we have transgressed against some agreed social rule and lost status within the group. Our research found out that canceling is not actually about virtue, it's about dominance. It's not an effort to help you be a better person or see a particular error, but an attempt to control you. The people doing the canceling do not have the moral high ground. Barack Obama puts it this way, "If all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do." And Donald Trump calls it the very definition of totalitarianism. In conclusion, it is entirely devastating to be bullied by tens or hundreds of people giving you their opinion of who they think you are. Try to hold on to who you know yourself to be. Those who are canceling you are likely to be telling you what kind of person you are based on one event. Each individual is more involved than a single incident. Connect with people who genuinely know you. And that's all we have for you today. We've included more articles in the description box for you to read, and we encourage you to do your research. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we upload new videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.